Hi, I'm Greg, and welcome to the final Wednesday devotional of the 2020 academic semester. I'm going to finish it off with a dad joke here. This one's a good one, by the way. With so many sporting events now being canceled, they have to televise the World Origami Championship. It's on pay per view. Pay per view? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, alright. Alright. And here we are at finals week of spring 2020. And so if you finished your finals already, great job. You're there. You should have a lot of joy right now. If you're still working on it, you're in the home stretch, you're almost there to the finish line. The finish line of the craziest, most upside down Twilight Zone semester in academic history. No other college student has had to go through this ever before, and hopefully never will again. They're going to be studying about this semester what happened in this world in textbooks in the year 2050 and 2094 and 2120, about the hardships, about the difficulties, about how we responded as humanity on individual levels, how our leaders responded, how the medical community responded to the great pandemic of 2020. I have a lot of questions from this era as well. No doubt you've had some similar questions too. For example, we were becoming addicted to technology and seeing the problems from that before going into COVID. And now we suddenly said, okay, technology is great. It's going to replace community. We're going to stay at home together and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so what's that going to do for us in the coming months and years? What's it also going to say about the precautions we took as a society? What were the outcomes of that? How did that go? What were the repercussions? We'll be learning from that for the next months and years coming out from this. There will be textbooks written about how we responded, how some of it was not common sense, how a lot of it might have seemed cautious at the time, but really would have no effect at all. How about leaders? How many led with great integrity and managed well and governed well, and how many abused power? Time will tell, I suppose, as we learn from history. What about faith communities? What's that going to say about what does it mean to be safe anyway? We were told stay home, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe. Okay, they've been conditioning us to think this for throughout this whole 2 months. What does it really mean to be safe? When is the media actually going to come out and say it is safe to go outside your houses now? COVID is over. We are victorious. Let's celebrate the streets together. Will there ever be a news cycle day where that happens? I have my doubts. I really do. We're going to be grappling with this in the coming months, and we're going to be grappling with stuff in the coming years. But what does it mean to be safe anyway? To not live your life anymore? I mean, yes, I'm all for being cautious. Don't get me wrong. Describe to me what reckless behavior looks like, and describe to me what ultimate safety looks like. And how do we navigate between the two of them, especially on how we serve together in faith communities? What's this going to look like for the church and for our Wesley in the coming months and years? What are the implications going to be? So the Bible passage that we're finishing this academic year with is the one we finish every academic year with, Acts 2:42 through 47. They joined with the other believers and devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship, sharing the Lord's Supper and in prayer. A deep sense of awe came over them all, and the apostles performed many miraculous signs and wonders. And all the believers met together constantly and shared everything they had. They sold their possessions and shared the proceeds with those in need. They worshipped together at the temple each day, met in homes for the Lord's Supper, and shared their meals with great joy and generosity, all the while praising God and enjoying the goodwill of all the people. And each day the Lord added to their group those who were being saved. So when we're discovering the new normal through this month of May, and then into the summer, and then into August, and we return in August for classes for the fall semester, what will the new normal look like, especially for faith communities like our Wesley Foundation? Having taught people to play it safe and to stay confined and to practice social distancing, social isolation, I don't know what the difference is, honestly. Will that be ingrained in people and their behavior after these past couple months? Or will a lot of other people say, I'm going to make faith community a big priority. I'm not only going to start off with one in a semester, I'm going to stick with it. For those that were only being in worship once a month, for local church or Wesley or whatever, maybe they're going to be more active. What do you think? Maybe it'll be a wash. Maybe I'll just break even in the end there. I'm hoping and I'm praying also for a net gain, a big gain, because let's face it, internet church isn't a thing. The internet was a thing starting in the 90s, and it's been around for almost 30 years now.
And people have tried their hands at online-only churches, internet churches. They never really took off. Never really became a big thing. And why is that? Because deep down, we have this ingrained human behavior, nature, that needs to be in community with others. You can only do so much with Zoom and on the phone and Skyping. It's when you're eating together with others. It's when you're spending time physically in proximity with others. I think genuine, authentic faith communities are grown and established and form even more. Jesus said, where two or more are gathered, there I am among them. He was quoting a passage from much earlier in God's redemptive history in the story of the Bible. We see that word gathered a lot. And we will see that word again and again in the coming months and years in our own lifetimes. So I'm going to need all of your help. I need everyone praying that God would bring this great, huge comeback for our Wesley, for church communities everywhere, that people will make it such a huge commitment in their lives and genuinely contribute to it, to the well-being of others, to live out that Acts chapter 2 community in fresh, bold, big ways that we've never seen on this scale before, that God would bring a great comeback. I believe it's going to happen. Do you believe? And will you help build that too? We're going to need as much help as we can get. But I pray that God's going to lift up a lot when we return in August. In the meantime, churches will be starting soon. Maybe in your home community, you can jump in on one. Be a part of that action for the months of June and July until you return to us in August. I pray there'll be a great return indeed. That we would live out that Acts 2 community well and faithfully once again as we gather to eat, as we gather for fun, as we gather to serve, as we gather and gather and gather and gather again. People are starving for it, and they will be in August as well. So may God meet those needs powerfully through us, our Wesley crew, and through many other faith communities along the journey. I love you all. I miss you very much. God's still God and God is still good. We are still in this together. We are going to see this through, and this will be behind us in due time. Onward and upward, my friends.